The name on the storage unit lease hit Detective Jonah Mercer like a punch to the chest. Lieutenant Eric Vaughan, Internal Affairs Liaison, 22 years on the force, clean record, decorated, trusted, too trusted. Mercer didn't say Vaughan's name out loud at first. He read it twice, then a third time. The kind of silence that followed wasn't shock, it was understanding. Because if a defense attorney like David Hale needed something buried, erased, or quietly redirected, Vaughan was exactly the man who could make it disappear without raising alarms. By noon, the box from the storage unit was gone. Not seized, not logged, gone. The evidence room supervisor swore it had never arrived. The intake log showed a black space where the entry should have been. The cameras covering that hallway had malfunctioned sometime after midnight. Maintenance claimed it was just a coincidence. Mercer stopped believing in coincidences. He drove straight to Mara Ellison's apartment. The eviction notice was still taped to the door, curling at the edges. Inside, the place smelled like instant noodles and disinfectant. Her son's toys were neatly stacked in a corner, untouched since the night she never came home. On the kitchen table sat a spiral notebook. Most pages were blank. Some had grocery lists, a phone number written over and over again. And then, near the back, a few lines written shakily, like someone afraid of being heard. He said he could help. Said I didn't understand how the system works. Said if I talked, no one would believe me. There was a name underneath. Not Hale. Client. Mercer felt the shape of the truth starting to form. Mara hadn't gone to Hale for help with a crime. She'd gone to him because she was in the system and trapped by it. Court records revealed the rest. 6 months earlier, Mara had been a witness in a felony assault case. The accused was a hedge fund manager's son. Privileged. Connected. Represented by David Hale. Mara's testimony would have put him away. Instead, she recanted. On the stand, she'd said she misremembered, that she was confused, that she had been under emotional distress. The judge dismissed the charges. The defendant walked free. Mara lost her job 2 weeks later. Her rent doubled after a clerical error. Hale Services opened an inquiry after an anonymous call questioned her fitness as a parent. Pressure, fear, isolation. Someone had squeezed her life until silence was the only option. And then something changed. Phone records showed she'd started calling Hale again. Late nights, short calls, desperate calls. She wasn't begging anymore. She was threatening. At 3:18 p.m., Mercer's phone buzzed. Unknown number. The voice on the other end was calm, polished, almost bored. You're digging in the wrong direction, detective. Mercer didn't ask who it was. People like Mara Ellison make accusations when they're scared, when they want money, when they want attention. You know she's dead, Mercer said. Yes, the voice replied. And if you're smart, she'll stay the last one connected to this. The line went dead. 2 hours later, Lieutenant Vaughan failed to report for duty. His house was empty. His car missing. His phone disconnected. Internal Affairs called it a personal matter. The department issued a quiet memo. No further action until further notice. Mercer knew better. He went off the books. Using a retired analyst he trusted, Mercer pulled encrypted backups from traffic cameras near the law firm. Most of the footage was wiped, but one frame survived corrupted, low resolution, barely usable. It showed a black sedan idling near the hedges. Timestamp: 11:44 p.m. 3 minutes before Mara's last call ended. The license plate was partially visible, enough to trace it. The car wasn't registered to David Hale. It was registered to a private security company, one that billed exclusively to Hale's law firm. Mercer printed the image and slid it into his jacket. That night, someone broke into his apartment. Nothing stolen, nothing broken, except one thing. The notebook from Mara's kitchen table gone, and taped to his bathroom mirror was a single sheet of paper. Typed, clean, precise. Justice is expensive. You can't afford it. Mercer understood the message perfectly. This wasn't about solving a murder anymore. This was about surviving long enough to expose who controlled the outcome. And somewhere out there, Lieutenant Vaughan was either running or already dead. But Mercer didn't know which possibility terrified him more. If this story made your stomach drop, don't look away. Subscribe so you don't miss the next case, because the truth doesn't always win. And the stories they try hardest to bury are the ones you need to hear. Like this video if you believe justice shouldn't depend on money. And comment below. Do you think the system protects the guilty or the powerful? The next story is already unfolding.